RenderForest.com.
Hi all, Trisha Peach, host of the Peach Buzz, and today, kind of a tough topic. I want to give you 5 reasons that you should not quit this week. And I don't believe in coincidences, so there's a reason why you are watching this right now, and there's a reason why I'm presenting this week. Know that you're not alone. This week in North America, 3 pastors will quit. Every day, 3 pastors quit, and maybe that's you right now that's on the fence. So why shouldn't you quit this week? Well, let's talk about it. Number 1, you're probably at this place in ministry, wherever you are, whatever kind of ministry you're doing, because you felt God called you there. Has God actually specifically told you to leave? Frustration and anger are not usually the way that God speaks to you to tell you to leave. Frustration and anger, they're a result of being right in the middle of all kinds of different stressors, but that's not typically how God tells you to leave. So if God specifically called you, then you need to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that He is calling you to go. And usually if you're debating that still, you probably haven't been released to go. What does that mean by released? Usually if someone is really being called to leave, they don't care anymore. Something goes great, they don't care. Something goes terrible, they don't care. They've been released from that place. They don't want to be there anymore. They've gone numb. If you're frustrated and angry and upset, that's probably you're still connected there. You haven't been released to go. So if God's called you, you need to hear a specific call to leave before you go running out the door. My dad always said, don't quit on Monday. Every pastor wants to quit on Monday, but we have these bad weeks. Don't quit just because you're frustrated. Number 2, everyone else does not have it better than you. Can I just say, the elephant in the room, Facebook is a lie. Facebook ministries, nobody posts on Facebook, oh, I had 6 people come to my Bible study this Wednesday night. Nobody posts that. They post the good things. So if you're comparing yourself to everybody else on Facebook and you're thinking, everybody else's ministry is going fantastic but mine, let me give you a clue, because I've been talking to pastors for months now. The last few days, all of them are still digging out from COVID. They're trying to recover numbers. They lost finances. They've had to cut staff. We're talking big, small, medium-sized churches. All of them are suffering right now. You are not alone, and you're not a failure. You probably need to hear that. You're thinking, I must be a failure. We didn't get all these people back. We're missing tons and tons of people. Our attendance is sliding down. Finances aren't good. No, this is everybody right now. We all are just really, really good at selective truth on Facebook. We only put the things on there that are great. We don't tell the whole truth. So the grass is not really greener. You might be thinking every other church is doing, no, every other church is not doing fantastic. In fact, you can count your blessings if you are not in that boat right now. Another reason not to quit this week is you haven't finished strong yet. If you are wanting to run out the door, there's a big difference between running out the back door, throwing your hands up, going, I've just had enough of this mess, and finishing your assignment strong and walking out the door with your head held high. Let's say God has called you on, that God has made it clear that you're done there. It's not anger and frustration. It's not 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 bad Sundays. It's God is calling you on. Okay, so what do you need to do to finish well at the position you're at? What needs to happen? So if you look back when you're 80, could you honestly say right now that you did everything you could? Could you say you did everything you could do? Probably not. So right now, you probably need to look at, okay, is God calling me on No, things are not better everywhere else. And 3, what do I need to do here to finish well before going, if I am supposed to go? We don't stomp out the side door. I want to be able to walk out with my head up high, knowing that I did everything I could possibly do. Okay, everything that I could possibly do to make that right. Number 4, God did not call you to, specifically, I don't think, to build a megachurch. He didn't call you to have the biggest church in North America. He didn't call you to compete with anybody else. He called you to be faithful. You need to know you are not a failure. If you're thinking my measure of success is I have to be a megachurch, think about this. 80% of all churches in the United States are under 100 people. 80%. Are we going to call 80% of all pastors failures? I don't think so. We're not called to have a megachurch. We're called to be faithful. So that means being faithful in what God's called you to do there. So no, you shouldn't quit this week. Don't quit this week. We lose so many pastors every year. 4 out of 5 don't even make it to year 5. So if you've made it past year 5, congrats, you're a veteran. Stay in there. We need you in there. Okay, we need you to keep going and keep fighting and not give up this week. And number 5, the reason why you shouldn't quit this week. Don't quit this week because you're in really good company. Jeremiah was frustrated, wanted to quit. He got thrown down a well, starved. Paul got thrown out of about every synagogue he went into. He got frustrated and he wanted to quit. I mean, some of the stuff they pulled on Paul was ridiculous. All of these things that happened, the frustration and the anger that they had, they needed to finish the assignment. And you are in such good company this week with the heroes of faith in the Bible that just stayed faithful until God told them it was time to stop. So, number 1, you know God called you. Do you have a definite reason? Do you know that you know that you know that He's calling you to leave? 2, you are not alone. It's not better on the other side. Grass is not greener on the other side. Nope. So you shouldn't quit this week, right? 4 was you are in great company with the heroes of the Bible. Yes. And you were not called. I had forgotten number 3. Number 3 is you're not called to have a megachurch. You're just called to be faithful. And I forgot. Number 5, my favorite. The reason why you should not quit this week. This is my favorite one. It's a Bible verse. Are you ready for this? And it came to pass. Isn't that beautiful? It's in the Bible quite a bit. It came to pass. So here's the bad news. If you're in a wonderful season of ministry right now, I'm sorry, it will pass. If you're in a terrible season of ministry right now, I've got good news for you. It came to pass. It will pass. It is not here to stay. I know it feels like it is absolutely forever, but I promise you it is not. This is a season. Everything in ministry is a season. Everything. Your time at the church that you're at. I remember one time when I was leaving a church, it had been a really difficult situation, and I was leaving, and I felt God saying to me, you didn't fail. You graduated. Now walk the line. And I realized, all right, God, I've learned what I need to learn here. And I'm going to walk out of here with my head held high. But that's what you need to learn. This is a season. It will pass. And God will graduate you to the next level when you've learned what you need to learn there. When you graduate, when you can walk the line, right? So this is a season. It will pass. I promise you. It will pass, but you should not leave till you know for sure that God is calling you to leave. You should not leave until you know you've done what you went there to do, that you leave well, that you can leave with your head held high. You should not leave without realizing that it isn't better somewhere else. Everybody is suffering. Everybody's going through it. You should not leave without understanding that you're in great company right now. You're called to be faithful. You're not called to have a mega church. You're called to be faithful. And 5, this too shall pass. So I hope I can say something to encourage you today. If you're on the fence of quitting this week, don't quit this week. Don't quit this week. Pray, ask God for clear direction, but know you're not a failure. You are not alone, and this season is going to pass. Love you guys. I will see you next week on the Peach Buzz.